Hello, hello. This is Robert Blank, the owner of Brutal Iron Gym. I wanted to cover today some ideas for unilateral or single leg variations of stiff leg deadlifts. So often one of the ways you'll see people perform single leg stiff leg deadlift is with on a single leg and the other leg is back in the air and people have trouble balancing. So let me show you an example of that. Now I'll show you the other leg. So that's the example that most people will try. However, that comes with limitations. If you want instability and balance challenge in your ankle, your knee, and your hip, that's a great variation because the balance is going to be most often the limiting factor compared to the strength. But what happens if we actually want the strength to be the limiting factor and we want more muscle damage out of the movement? So one of the ways you can do it is what's called a split stance single leg deadlift. So your back leg is going to be touching the ground, but only a little bit to control some balance. So you'll see in that variation, since I have more balance control, everything can be smoother. I can even focus a little bit more on my hips going forward and backward to make sure the tension stays in my upper hamstrings and glutes rather than my lower back. So that's one version. Another variation you have is to use hand support, but still keep the non-involved leg up in the air. So let me come on over here and I'll show you what that variation would look like. So I have a dumbbell in my hand that's opposing the leg I want to work. I'll have the same hand on the leg I'm working up on something to hold. Then it'll be stiff leg variation, and I'm just trying to get that same feel like that. So you do that for 5 and you can switch. So having it where it's in the opposing hand, so the kettlebell or the dumbbell is in this hand, but I'm working this leg, helps me get more torque in my hip. What tends to happen when people have it on the same leg is they just kind of do this, and you actually shorten the stretch on the glute on that side. Whereas if you have it on the opposing side, you're more likely to keep your chest and everything pointing to the ground, which gets a better stretch in the inner glutes. So those are two quick variations of a single leg stiff leg deadlift that you can use. So the one is a split stance single leg deadlift. The other one is a hand supported single leg deadlift. So if you're having trouble doing regular single leg deadlifts and balance is the problem, but you actually want muscle damage to be the problem, then try those variations. Cool, hopefully that helps.